Welcome to the All Jammed Up podcast presented to you by Music Never Stopped. Today is Thursday, November 13th, and today on the podcast we have Travis Book and Balthazar from BALTHVS.
Well, we're all jammed up and we're ready to blast. It's time for Clint Chloe's Music Podcast.
Good morning, fools. Welcome to the All Jammed Up podcast. I'm Clint.
I'm Chloe.
Oh, we've never done that one
Oh,
before.
no, I haven't. It kind of caught me off guard. It was a surprise.
And today is our first, I think it's the first time we've done this, 2 interviews in one episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, which we're going to just start doing more of, I guess, when we have shorter interviews. And so it's always, the goal is kind of always an hour for an episode.
Mm-hmm.
So if we have 2, like today, 25-minute interviews, give or take, put them in there, chat a little bit of both ends, and then all good.
Gotta say, though, 2 really good interviews.
I think so too.
Yeah,
And
I
we
really
already
liked-
told the story about
Travis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, the Balthazar one was his manager had gotten a flat tire or something, car
And
troubles.
wasn't at Hulaween.
Wasn't at Hulaween, so like he was kind of our mediator for that interview. And then when he wasn't there, and I texted him, and he was like, "Yeah, man, sorry." So I had to like flag down Balthazar.
We were
after
like behind the there's like a chain link fence with like all carpeted up and everything. We're like trying to flag him down from behind the stage. We got him though. We wrangled him.
Yeah. And then I just did what you did.
Yeah.
And then on the back end, so for Thursday's episode, we're gonna start doing a new thing, like songs of the week. I have a couple songs this week that new songs, newer to me songs, not like it's not gonna. We maybe talked about this actually.
I think we
yeah,
did
we did
as
talk
well
about this. But then I'm also gonna make a Spotify playlist with all those songs, and it'll just be a few songs to start, but
It'll build.
it'll build
It'll
and
come.
new way for people to find new music, support some of the guys that have supported the podcast and that kind of stuff. So
And interact with us and keep
Yeah.
conversation going.
yeah, for sure. So I'll put the link to that in this, but we'll have that on the back end. A little discussion about the band Trampled by Turtles, something that I've just been curious about, pondering. And then that would be it for today's episode. Still trying to figure out these intro and outro things, aren't we?
Yeah, we have to get our chemistry on this part figured out.
Yeah, we're good at the last part, but
Yeah.
I guess too. So Travis' interview was awesome. That is an interview I've been trying to set up since before I published any of the podcasts. He was one of the first people I reached out to, and
Yeah.
it just never
Lined up.
lined up. BALTHVS was a new band to me. I had like seen their names on festival posters and like in the algorithm on Spotify and stuff like that, but never really listened to them. So it was cool that like the Stringdusters, who I've seen a few times, saw them on New Year's in like 21, 22 maybe.
I think 22, because that was the New Year's. We had started dating, but we didn't spend together.
No, that was Green Sky Bluegrass in Atlanta.
Are you sure?
Because I went to Green Sky with Sam and Grace in Atlanta.
Oh, I thought the Stringdusters
And then
was
we
the
went to
same time.
Billy Strings 23, 24. So 22 was Green Sky. Stringdusters was 21 with Sam, or with Zach and Veggie. So yeah, so that was cool. Like interviewing someone I've seen a few times, I knew about, and then interviewing someone I didn't know that much about. And I think they were great interviews. So
I agree. I really liked them.
let's go ahead and get into them, huh?
Let's hit it.
Balthazar and Travis Book.
Honey, you're listening to some all jammed up.
There was a little confusion there in the beginning because we thought we were going to do this tomorrow at 2 when I was talking.
Oh, nice.
So like me and Gail, right, the lady, your PR lady, we were emailing back and forth, and we were like, yeah, tomorrow at 2. And then she emailed me at like 1 o'clock. It's like, hey, it's today at 2. And I was at camp hanging out, having a beer.
Oh, nice.
Not on my phone. And then I just look at my phone, and it was like, actually, we're doing today at 2. And it was
You're
1:50 when I saw that email.
You're like, shit. I'm just settling into partying, man. I'm not ready to work.
So I didn't have anything all that prepared, but luckily, you're an Asheville legend, so I know enough about you. We can get this going. And
Yeah. I mean, we could. I could have just come to your campsite, and we
Yeah,
could have just done this over some beers. You know.
that would have been probably a lot easier than this. But
next time we'll do that.
well, that's the thing too, is I feel like before I even started the podcast, 'cause I started it in like January, I tried to get you to do it, and we just went
Yep.
back and forth, and
Yep.
I'll take some of the blame. I never showed up at 185 King Street to introduce myself, so.
Oh, good.
But
It's a
here we
long way
are.
down
Instead
there.
of living 45 minutes away, we're in beautiful Suwannee, finally doing a podcast interview.
Yeah, it's funny. A minute ago, they're like, "Yeah, he's not here yet. He'll be here in a minute." And I thought to myself, I was like, "We're doing this all the way down in Florida. We could have just met halfway.
Yeah.
We could have just met for Thai food and done this over a bowl of pho in Arden.
Is there a good pho spot in Arden?
I think that there's a good pho spot in Arden. I think it's up by it's like sort of near the barbecue place,
Okay, because
Five Bones or whatever.
we
that
just
is.
moved to
12 Bones.
Asheville like last October, so we've only been here for a year now, and that was like our favorite thing about St. Pete where we were living is there's really good pho there, but we haven't found a good spot yet, so we're still on the lookout.
Keep looking.
Okay, we'll come to Arden and try it.
Yeah.
And that's what I told your management too. I was like, maybe I could do one of the Andes because Travis is local to me, so I can do that whenever. And she was like, well, we're gonna give you Travis. And I was,
She's like, no, you get Travis.
but
Well, I'm glad we're doing it.
yeah, same here.
I'm glad we're doing it.
And at Suwannee, first interview. This is my first festival with like media credentials.
Oh, sweet.
My first interview at a festival, so I'm glad it's a Nashville guy. It works out the way it should work out.
Yes.
Have you guys played here quite a bit before?
We've done a ton of stuff at Spirit of Suwannee Park. We've done
Like the amp jam and all that?
well, what we usually do is we do Suwannee Spring Fest, which is
Okay.
a lot more like roots and bluegrass oriented.
Yeah.
And then we've done Hulaween. I remember being here once before. I think it was probably more than that. It's very easy to get in way over your head here, and
Yep.
the memories I have are very foggy. But then there's like vivid moments that pop through of like finding myself in one of these massive art installations that was like a house with like a bunch of they cut out pages from the books and wallpapered the walls with it. And I remember being spun enough that I couldn't leave the house. And I think I was in there for like a day.
You know what they call that?
What do they call that?
The House of Lost.
It's all coming together. Aptly named.
Yes.
Yeah, and then we've done like I think MagFest used to. They used to do
Okay, back in the
MagFest
day,
down here,
yeah.
So we've been down to Spirit of Suwannee a bunch. Even during the pandemic, they threw like a little party out there in the parking lot, and I came down and played with
Sounds
Keller.
like Florida.
Played solo and then played with Keller. They just put like 5 acts on. So I've been here a lot. I love this spot. This
Yeah.
spot is magic.
But that's for Hulaween. This is the first time you guys will be playing Hulaween.
Second time.
Second time. Okay. When was the last time you guys did it?
It's got to be like 5 or 6 years ago.
Okay. Because this is my 4th Hulaween, but 5th time to Suwannee. And like you said, I've been here in the day, in the night, spun, not spun. I still don't know where I'm going ever when I'm here.
Dude, Hulaween is incredibly disorienting.
Yeah.
Springfest is much more straightforward. You know,
Uh-huh.
there's a couple stages, they're all in one spot. My boys party out over the hill, and I can always find them. But, you put in all these other stages, all these people camping, the lake, all that stuff. Hulaween, and the fact also that it's the whole thing is pretty psychedelic. Hulaween is incredibly disorienting.
Yeah. And that's like the whole bit, I feel like. Is like,
Yeah, that's the deal.
Yeah.
That's the deal, and that's partly what makes it kind of magical. You get down here, and a little disorientation is good for the good for the spirit,
And I love the way they set up the music too. Like today, it's like OG String Cheese, and then like the Infamous Stringdusters, and then like Jade Cicada, Tipper, or Tape B, like all these like EDM acts coming in here.
Yeah.
So like just the collab of both, and like we're camping right now with like more EDM people. I feel like, and
Yeah.
we're more of like on the bluegrass jam side of
Sure.
things. So it's like you get that opportunity to like mesh with these people that
Yeah.
otherwise you probably wouldn't really do, and then you realize like these guys are just like us. They just
Yeah.
happen to like the electronics rather than the plucking.
That's something I gotta hand it to String Cheese Incident. They have created this sort of intersection between like roots and string band and bluegrass
Yeah.
music and EDM, and they do that in their music. Their music is sort of the intersection of that, and so then any events that they have, we used to do a big party they had out in Oregon at Horning's Hideout.
Yeah.
And it was a similar kind of thing, where it was like a few bluegrass acts, String Cheese Incident, and then a bunch of dance music. And it was awesome. It makes for a killer party,
Yeah.
and that's one of the coolest things about String Cheese and about their legacy as a band is that they really sort of brought these two disparate elements together and synthesized them into this really cool, unique music.
Now, what side do you find yourself on? Like, are you more of like being in like a bluegrass band? Do you find yourself more in like the traditional of like stick with the bluegrass, or do you kind of like the like fusion of like think of a band like Fireside Collective that like added the drums and people are like, what are they doing? But like, what is your kind of take? Do you like more the tradition or kind of you like the mixture?
I mean, that's a good question and kind of hard to answer. I think I kind of like when when music has a little bit of like an identity, you know. But a band like Fireside, I mean, they're still kind of. I feel like, I'm pretty tight with those guys. I produced their second record, which is like bluegrass record.
Yeah.
They're still kind of finding their legs and figuring out exactly kind of where they fall on the musical spectrum. And I don't know, man. I don't really know what I like. I don't know, and I don't know why. I don't know why I like it, but I do know when I'm watching something if I like it.
Yeah.
And I think really what I like is I like authenticity, not in the sense of like the music is authentic, but the experience of the people making it is authentic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think you can kind of tell when people are like wearing a hat that doesn't fit, or they're not psyched to be there, or they don't quite jive with their bandmates. You know, watching a band that is present and that is legit and genuine,
Yeah.
you know, that is doing it for the right reasons. Like, I'll get down with just about anything, but I feel like I can quickly see sort of through that veneer of, you know, we've all seen bands that are, you know, they're just like staring at the floor, or you can tell they're just not really psyched to be there,
Yeah.
you know, or they don't even really know what they're doing or why they're doing it. So I just really like authenticity, you know, and I just like stuff that hooks me. And
Do you find that it's hard to like keep that authenticity? All the like grueling tour schedules, like you're going here, the next night you're already there. Like, is it hard to show up for shows sometimes? Like, I feel like that's kind of a vulnerable question, but
yeah, I mean, I want to lie to you and tell you that it's not.
yeah,
But you know, the I think the part that gets challenging for me is just sort of like the sameness of it, you know. And you know, at the Stringdusters, it's been 20 years, and every night we're playing a different set, and every night we're challenging ourselves to be the best band we can be, and setting a really high standard for each other and for the whole thing. But there is some element of sort of sameness to it,
Yeah.
you know. But you know, part of how I cure that personally is I just do a lot of other things when I'm not on the road. You know, every
Yeah.
Tuesday I'm playing with a different group of people, and I've got a couple ensembles.
shouts out 185 King Street.
That's right, 185 King Street every Tuesday night, 6:40 on the dot. One set at 6:40. That's our policy. I have a band with Jeff Sipe on the drums, and Derek Gardner plays keys, and Daniel Seraph from Asheville plays electric guitar, and it's sort of like an Americana fusion band. Very much not a bluegrass ensemble. I have like a string band. I have like a country band that I put together. We play like 50s style country music. I wear a suit for that. Doing these other things sort of helps, because then when I come back to the Stringdusters, it's a little bit like coming home.
Yeah,
You know, and playing this music that I love so much and I'm so sort of dedicated to. It's not like the road makes it hard to get up for it. It's just, you know, sometimes, I mean, you know, I'm a little bit of a moody kind of guy, and so if I haven't gotten sunshine or exercise, or I drank too much whiskey the day before or whatever, you know, certain things will make it a little harder
you're a human.
to get on with life. But invariably that stuff all falls away when you go on stage, you know, because the music is, Falco always likes to say, he's like, remember the joy. And the music is what's sacred, and that's the whole point, you know. That's all. If you can be in the bus for 22 hours and then you can't get on stage for that 2.5 or 3 hours and really be there, then you might as well just stay home, you know.
Yeah.
And it always is. It's always easy once we're up there to be right there with it.
Yeah. And you mentioned like doing like different side projects aside from the Dusters. I know that you and Andy Falco did the Falco and Book Play Garcia, and that was like a whole tour. I want to hear a little bit about that and like how big of an influence Jerry Garcia was to you.
I mean, Garcia is increasingly a major influence on me, right? Like, so I was into the Grateful Dead, and that's kind of how I discovered bluegrass music. Is I was hanging out with guys. We had a jam band in the garage, and we were playing Dead tunes and playing Panic tunes, and playing Fish tunes, and then that band broke up, and someone was like, "Dude, do you ever play bluegrass? You know, check this out. Check out Old in the Way. Check out Yonder Mountain String Band." You know, so it's through Jerry Garcia kind of that I got started in bluegrass. But I hadn't, you know, all of the Jerry. I was sort of like a little bit of like I was like a dead light kind of guy where I liked all the stuff that moved. And all of these epic ballads, you know, the Wharf Rats and the Black Peter and that kind of stuff, it was all kind of over my head. And once we started playing a little bit of Jerry together, very quickly we started diving into these more complex tunes and the slower stuff, the ballads kind of stuff, and it just really started to like completely kind of blow my mind wide open, and it's become a little bit of an obsession. You know, Falco's been into Jerry since the beginning, and I don't think that there's anybody who's as well versed in Jerry vocabulary across the entire spectrum of the Jerry experience, from acoustic all the way through electric, than Andy Falco.
Okay.
He knows it in and out, and he loves it for all the right reasons. So he's sort of helped me discover a lot of this stuff, and you know, just getting into that music has just proven to be like one of the most rewarding things for me. And for us, it's really started to take on a little bit of like an element of like sacred and of service, because you know, Jerry's not out there making this music anymore, and there's lots of people covering Dead tunes, lots of people playing Jerry. But I think the two of us with just an acoustic guitar and an upright bass and two voices, it makes it all about the songs. And we try to really, you know, kind of take ourselves out of it, step out of the way, and allow that music to speak through us. And we know that it's proving to mean a lot to people. The people who are really into this stuff, they're really into it, and it really means the world to them. And that creates this environment around these shows that is really that's really special and almost like really sacred. And it's been very cool to sort of discover this thing that we can do together. Brings us really close together. The music is incredibly rewarding, challenging, and then also being able to be in that space with people and see how much it means to people. It's kind of a beautiful and perfect side project for us. We're so grateful for it.
Yeah, we talked about authenticity with our music, and I think like two guys who love Jerry Garcia with nothing more than an acoustic guitar and a stand-up bass, like that's just about as authentic as it gets. And you saying like to some people that this music matters so much, and to somebody like me who like I can't play music, I have an acoustic guitar, I can strum G all day. And that's about the extent of that. So like when you get the opportunity to see like someone recreate that really cares about the music, it is a really special thing. So hats off to you guys. We do love it.
Thanks. That's great. Yeah, man. I mean, the songs, it just comes back to the songs, and the songs are so good. And
is there one that for you is like, this is it for me?
You know, it's always changing, but right now, like right now, Black Peter is the entire universe for me. Like it's the whole world inside of a song. Wharf Rat is another one that is just so cool to play. You know, our arrangement of it, you know, it starts slow, and it's got the middle section that is just about nothing going on. You know, but I'll get back on my feet someday. You know, if the good Lord willing, if He says I may, and then you get to that. And then we come out of that, and it rocks and it gets heavy, and there's that sort of, you know, the narrator is then sort of having their own existential crisis about their own relationship, and it's just such a heavy tune for me, you know. But it's really fun, kind of like continuing. The joke is like eventually we'll learn all that stuff.
Yeah.
Now that'll take us a lifetime because, you know, you from the pizza tapes to Garcia Grisman, through Jerry Garcia Acoustic Band, Jerry Garcia Band. I mean, all that JGB stuff. I mean, you can go down. There's 100 soul tunes in there that you got to learn if you want to learn all the JGB. And then you get into the sort of dead lexicon. That's one of the beautiful things about that, too, to have a project where it is very confined. There's the rule is we're going to play music that was played by this one person. But inside of that is this just vast world of these sea shanties, you know, you got your jackaros, but then all the way through these incredibly complex, you know, you got Terrapin Station, you got these really cool original songs that he wrote, and it's just like a whole universe inside of itself. And I imagine, I mean, if the good Lord willing, as the song says, we'll be playing this music until we die because it's just so cool and it means so much to us. We put on those tie-dye suits, and it's like we're taking on a role, and it's something bigger than us, and there's a demand for it, and we love doing it.
Who do you think of like the newer cats that are like doing this like Grateful Dead and bluegrass music, like kind of bringing it to like the younger generation, like even younger than me? Who do you think's doing like a really good job of like doing it the right way right now?
Like Grateful Dead influence stuff, or just the music in general?
I guess just the music in general. Like, and I think from like even like a localized point, like for you and I, like people like Alex Bazemore, but then like from like a bigger point, like, you know, just like, I don't know if you've heard like the band Magoo in like Denver, like those guys just like bringing back some of these like classic bluegrass tunes and doing it in this like psychedelic way that we were talking about. Like, is there someone out there that's kind of sticking out to you that's like doing a really good job of it?
I think Fireside's doing really good right now.
Okay.
I think that they're doing really good things with the music. There's a band that's slipping my mind right now. Everybody's going to see them. They don't have a banjo. They have a really good guitar player.
Mountain Grass Unit.
Yeah, Mountain Grass Unit. Like that, they seem to be having a real big moment, you know, and people are really into that. And I love seeing bluegrass played without a banjo, you know, like the Tony Rice Manzanita. There's something about the music when it doesn't have a banjo. It's a little different, which I really like. You know, I think those bands are really getting it on sort of like the jamgrass thing, you know, and I kind of see that as sort of like almost like the continuation of the Billy Strings lineage, which, you know, if I may, I feel like kind of comes that lineage sort of passed through like Green Sky and us, you know, because Billy used to open shows for us and did what we did when we opened for Yonder Mountain, which is we like took all the best things that we liked about Yonder Mountain and we incorporated them into our show. And Billy has sort of done that on a grander scale, you know, and with a more unique and singular voice that has made him the biggest thing in bluegrass history and well-deserved, you know. And they and even like, you know, it's like Leftover Salmon was before Yonder, you know. So like there's like this lineage of this sort of jamgrass thing that runs through all of these bands. Billy Strings is kind of the pinnacle right now, but in the wake of that, there's this huge opportunity for these bands, you know, that hopefully there's a sort of larger scene and a larger appreciation for bluegrass. You know, the coolest thing that Billy Strings is doing is he's playing traditional bluegrass. Yeah, it's traditional as hell. You know, all these like Larry Sparks tunes that everyone thinks Billy wrote. I mean, thank God someone's playing that, because I mean it's the same thing as like the Jerry Garcia thing. Like Larry Sparks has all this epic music and this epic way of playing bluegrass. Well, no one fucking knows about it. Yeah, even at his peak, Larry Sparks was playing for 100 people. You know, but like. There are those of us like me and Woody Platt, who used to be in the Steep Canyon Rangers. Like we would drive 1,000 miles to see Larry Sparks play. You know? So it's cool that you know that Billy's playing that music, and then also there's all this stuff that's sort of happening in the wake of that. That, you know, jam grass, for lack of a better word, is a thing, and it continues to sort of continues to move, you know, down the line.
Yeah, and you guys have been doing it for a while now, and like
20 years.
20 years. It's a long time. How old are you? You don't seem like you've been doing bluegrass for 20 years. Is that a rude question?
Thank you. That's very nice of you. The gray hair only shows when I grow out my beard. I'm only 44, man.
Okay, so yeah, so you guys got kicking young,
and I'm gonna live forever. So, you know, we'll be having this conversation in another 25 years.
Perfect. If I don't give up on the podcasting.
Dust has been doing it for 20 years. I'm the youngest guy in the band. You know. Okay. But we've been at it.
And you guys have a new single coming out, Light at the End of the Day.
Yeah.
My first question is, like, there's a whole album coming out eventually, right?
Yeah, 20 songs for 20 years. It comes out in February.
How do you choose, like, what songs are going to be the singles that we release first? Is it what's done first? Is it what you think is the best? What means the most?
It's all those things, man. I mean, we've got so many singers. We kind of try to get everybody represented with a single, and then you kind of see, like, it's like, what do we want people to be? What do we want the first impressions for people to be of this record? And then it's also kind of like, well, what songs mean the most to certain people, you know? And some guy may be like, look, this song means a lot to me. I think it's a banger. I think it's a hit. And the rest of the guys are like, yeah, man, I trust your judgment. You know, we have a surprisingly good workflow for being 5 equal partners, and that stuff hashes out pretty organically, but it's all those things you mentioned. Okay. It's kind of like everything all at once.
So what makes this song special then?
This song, Andy Hall wrote it, and he was like, I think I've written something that's going to have a lot of meaning to a lot of people, and it's going to really resonate. He's like, I think I got a really good chorus, and I think it's a good hook, and it's a positive message. And we were like, yeah, man, let's do that.
In these times, positive messages are important.
Yeah, but you know, anybody who listens down through all 20 tracks, they're going to have, you know, anybody can listen to this record probably and pick out their 3 favorite tunes, and it'll probably be different tunes for everybody, because, you know, there's just like slightly different sensibilities, you know,
we talked about with the Garcia.
Yeah, man, it's like what kind of singing you like, or what kind of tunes you like, you know, whatever catches you. But the tune's got, you know, the record's got a lot of depth. We worked up like over 60 songs that we chose 20 from. you know. So everyone's writing all the time, and we had a ton of music. So this was just kind of all the best shit. And we were thinking we were going to do like another, you know, 12 to 14 song record. But then one day I was like, guys, it's 20 years. We've got all these songs. Let's just do another session and get this thing all the way to 20, you know?
Yeah.
And we all got on board with it because why not? You know, we love playing music that we've made up. We love playing other people's music too. We do a decent amount of covers, but most rewarding thing is to play our own original music, you know? And this is our opportunity to do it. So we went all in, 20 new songs for 20 years.
And that comes out in February?
Yeah.
And what will that album be called?
20 for 20.
20 for 20. Like an ESPN documentary.
Yeah. Exactly. Maybe we'll get some like extra web traffic for that.
We're coming up on our time here, but we are at Hulaween. You guys got a set in like 4.5 hours.
Yeah.
What can we expect? This episode will already be out when the show's over, but for me, what can we expect tonight from the show?
Oh, the coolest thing about tonight is we're doing the entire show with Sierra Hall, who is the greatest mandolin player alive.
Yep.
And one of the fucking coolest people ever. I mean, she really did hang the moon. She is the best. She's so fun and so funny and so cool and just an incredible musician. So that's going to be really good for us. It'll shake things up. It'll make it a totally unique set. We're going to do some of her tunes. She's going to learn a bunch of our material here.
Yeah.
I got rehearsal in like 20 minutes, and we'll start playing through tunes. But you know, the Dusters will be back in Asheville. We're doing New Year's with the Avett Brothers, and then we're doing the Orange Peel the night before.
Nice.
So we'll be at the Orange Peel on the 30th.
I've been looking for New Year's plans, so perfect.
And that show, you know, the Dusters, man, we just like continue to just really focus on just making the best music we can, you know, and trying to make sure that we've got shows that keep us interested and keep people interested. And it's not like a complex equation, you know. We just go out there and just try to rip and have a really good time, you know. Remember the joy and keep the music sacred. And I'm looking forward to New Year's because it's great for me to just drive up from Brevard.
Yeah.
You know, I got a 45-minute commute.
Easy.
And it'll be, when I'm super hungover on the first, it'll be way easier for me than it is for the rest of the guys. So, but you know, tonight will be fun. And you know, we're on like a national tour. We're gonna play like every market in the country over the next year with this record. And we're playing a bunch of great festivals next year. It's kind of a big moment for us. Before we take a little bit of time off next winter, and so we're just kind of all in right now. We're just really obsessed with the music. We play all day, play the shit out of the show, and a lot of times we're jamming after the show too. We still just love the music. So
Hell yeah, man. Well, this will be, I think, my third time seeing you guys. First time at Hulaween. First time since meeting you.
Nice.
And I better wrap this up because the guy with his arms crossed is kind of scaring me a little bit.
Yeah, that's our tour manager. It's mostly an act, but you don't want to fuck with him.
Thanks so much, Travis, for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Another one.
Alrighty, guys. We are here with Balthazar from the band BALTHVS, right? Is that how you say it?
That's correct. Yeah.
All weekend, I was like, I have to interview this band, and I don't know how to pronounce it. I was like, is it Baths? Is it Balths? But
No,
BALTHVS.
it lends itself to confusion, but it's simple.
Yeah.
It's BALTHVS.
Yeah, and we emailed a little bit, so I saw your name was Balthazar. So I was like, it has to be just a play on his name or something.
Well, no, it's a painter. It's a French-Swiss expressionist painter from the 1940s called Balthazar Klosowski, a.k.a. BALTHVS.
Oh, okay.
I was a tour guide, museum guide back in another life, and in a museum in Bogota, lots of paintings, Dali, Picasso, Renoir, and my favorite painter there, my favorite paintings were by BALTHVS.
Okay, so that's where the inspiration from the band name came.
It was, it had a ring to it. And
that makes sense.
There it is.
There it is. So are you from Colombia?
Yeah.
And how long have you been in America for?
Well, I hop around.
Okay.
This would be our 15th U.S. tour at this point.
Gotcha.
So, to be honest, I've spent more time here in America than in my own country this year.
Yeah.
We've been touring a lot all over the country, and very grateful.
Is a lot of your touring done in America, or are you going everywhere still?
We already did Europe in the summer, and we did Latin America in the spring.
Yeah.
And we're going back to Europe in 3 days. We're playing Iceland in 3 days.
So you stay pretty damn busy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's definitely been our busiest year.
That's a good thing, though.
Of course.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
What's it like touring, like being in Colombia doing a show, and then being in Florida, which is like the craziest part of America, and then going to Iceland? Like, how are all those experiences different?
Well, in Colombia, that's where we got started, and we never really got beyond like a small band, just because what I like as a musician, that doesn't really sound in Colombia. You could ask any rock fan in Colombia about, I don't know, the Grateful Dead, and they don't know who that is. So it's very hard to like sell this music out there. So we had to come here, and we started in Austin in South by Southwest, and I think we've savored every sort of America. Yeah. I guess Florida is very different because there's North Florida, which feels very American, I would say, whereas Miami feels just like a little Latin American haven. Yeah. So yeah, we're glad to be in part of this of this place. You know?
Do you feel more comfortable like in a place like Miami compared to like somewhere like here, or is it the comfort is just like there's a difference in being comfortable?
No, I don't. I don't. I honestly escaped reggaeton. I love that people are happy with whatever music they listen to, but that's the only music you hear out there. Okay. That beat, and I was kind of going crazy. Yeah. So I'm very happy to see here that in America it's very diverse. You can see reggaeton, but there's also country, but there's also rock, but there's also electronic music. There's EDM. Yeah. There's jazz. There's everything. You can hear anything here. So I'm very happy about that. You know.
Now, you mentioned the Grateful Dead, and you guys just played an incredible Shakedown Street. I danced the first couple songs with you guys, and I needed a break, so I sat down. And then you guys did the beginning, and I was like, are they about to play Shakedown Street? And you guys got into it, and I just watched, like, a bunch of people stand up, run from all over the festival to start dancing to that. Is that a really big inspiration for you?
Oh, absolutely. I'm definitely in this crazy path called music, because I saw a Jerry Garcia guy out there, and it's like I found solace and comfort in a moment where I felt very isolated from everybody else, and like a teenager, nobody gets me kind of thing. But you get it, Some people do, because some people never connect with this kind of music. And
can you walk us through like that moment of like you said, Grateful Dead in Colombia to me seems like such a far-fetched thing, like something that's so unattainable, because for one, I've never been to Colombia, and I grew up in America, and I didn't find out about the Grateful Dead till I was like 19, and it's so attainable here. So like, how were you able to like catch that magic of Jerry Garcia in the Dead in a place like Colombia?
It was very simple. YouTube. I was like just listening to music, and the algorithm, the rabbit hole, it got me into this mysterious. I saw the bear, and it only said PITV 72. Okay. And I just clicked on that stuff, and the dancing bear with swirly patterns, and I just loved, chilling, smoking a joint to that, and I was like, what is this, man? This is really psychedelic. Like this makes Pink Floyd very tame compared to it was like a crazy 15-minute 1972 playing in the band. So so it was out of this world, and I've been hooked ever since. And
it's like you can always learn something new, or like find a new year. Like for me, like 72 is probably my favorite year, because the Veneta Organ Show was what got introduced to me first, and then like I found that and like just dove into like that, and now I'm like into the late 80s with like the Brent years, and it's like there's so many different iterations of this music.
They said somewhere that Jerry is probably the most recorded musician in history. Yeah. There's so much, the archive, there's so much footage and sound that it's just an endless vault. And the more the merrier. We're very lucky to have that music, and it definitely inspired to create because psychedelic can sometimes be like a bad trip. Yeah. But Jerry, sometimes after the hard trip, you get the sweet ballad, and you get the sweet moment of you get to breathe after all that craziness, and I think not every band delivers that. And with BALTHVS, we always try to work with that dynamic of like mountains and craziness, and then back to a little valley and like a sweet lullaby. And I hope it's there, when we play not just the covers but our own music,
Yeah, and there was not as much. It seemed like lyrics in some of your guys' own music. A couple of the songs had lyrics, but it wasn't like a lyric-heavy song. It was more focused on the music and instruments. Why do you think that is kind of attracts you and what you want to be making?
Oh, you play to your strengths, Like first and foremost, I was a guitar player, and extremely self-conscious about my vocals. But one of the beautiful things about touring with My Morning Jacket this past month, we just finished with them at the Fox Theater yesterday, was that the power of the voice, and how I believe, just like with the Dead, people get into it because of the music or whatever, but people who stay there for decades listening to this music is because of the lyrics.
Yeah.
And I think Robert Hunter deserves an amazing credit because his lyrics are timeless.
Yeah.
And they're gorgeous. You know?
Yeah.
Just look at Ripple. It's like a cosmic message. And then watching Jim James doing his thing and seeing his devoted fans, and My Morning Jacket fans are just like the Deadheads.
Yeah.
I saw the rail was the same 30 people for 17 shows. That's like a job, man. Like
Shouts
going
out my
from
boy
place
Cooper.
to place, driving for 7 hours from Washington to Cincinnati, getting there. They look tired sometimes, but they were like just soldiering. I don't know, man. It's crazy.
They are tired, and the music stops, and you just forget about all of
They
it.
were crying at some moments, like tears of joy, and it was like, man, I gotta. So we really tried to sing as much as we could. Like, what are our songs with vocals? Let's just do as much vocals as we can, and that has really changed the paradigm and just getting confidence in my own vocal abilities, limited vocal abilities, but
Okay.
So that's
Yeah.
maybe we're witnessing a change in the band.
Exactly. Yeah. And the other is there any? So like I kind of got like a Karangbin-esque sound from the band. Is that like another inspiration of you guys?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I was with Joanna, our previous bass player.
Okay.
She has she just has a newborn, so that's why she's not on tour with us right now. And we were like 5 years ago, we were just sitting on the couch, and we were like, once again, the YouTube algorithm.
Yeah.
What is these people with wigs, man? what is this stuff, And it was like, I looked at the screen, then I looked at her, then I looked at the screen, and it was like, hey, we can do that.
Yeah.
And she was like, but I don't play bass, and I was like, it's okay, I'll teach you.
Yeah.
And it was just like a nice head start, Isn't music what it's all about, Like the reason why kids pick up the guitar, because they heard
something.
They fell in love with some kind of music and you just want to play it, and that's what we did. We were super fans,
Yeah.
Huge fans, and we just try to honor the music and play it to our highest standard. Ironically, the only people who have ever hated us, or that's a very strong word, but just like internet trolls or whatever, are the hardcore Khruangbin fans. And because of that, unfortunately I don't even hear that music anymore.
Yeah.
Just because of the bad vibes they brought. So, but they were the head start, and they were like just providing a format. Like, wow, you don't need 5 people, you don't need a gigantic tour. You need just 3 people can do it. And that changed my paradigm of that you can really do this.
Yeah.
Because it's not just being an artist; it's paying the bills. And for me in Colombia, and as a musician and as a person, it was just like, how do I balance this whole thing and be able to do what I want, which is just play guitar all day, but also have money, just basic, survive.
Survive, yeah.
Or at the beginning survive, and then have a respectable life, just be able to have a house, and if you have a wife or kids or whatever,
Yeah.
So the format and everything lend itself to, because it's very minimalist. It's the opposite of the Dead. The Dead, there's like 3 trucks in order to build a huge sound, whereas we don't even use amps or anything. Like, the technology is perfect, so we're like, oh, this is very portable. It's just us, 3 bags, we can fly everywhere. And that's why we've been able to play in so many countries, like, because we were talking with My Morning Jacket, and I was like, oh, you guys are going to so many of these European countries, we've never been there. And it's like, yeah, we've been to Romania, we've been to Hungary, we've been to Iceland and Finland, and it's because of the global sound, and also because of how minimalist we are.
Yeah.
We can just carry our little bus. It's not a bus, it's like a yacht, I'd say.
That's me and her can relate to that, because we have these 2 microphones and my phone.
Hey.
And it all runs through that.
Hey, man, it's the spirit of the times.
And it does enough to get the job
technology.
done.
Back in the day, you had to carry, just to make a radio show, you had to carry like gear,
Yeah.
Right now you can just literally have
Do you think that you mentioned like some of the like the psychedelic experience you had listening to the Dead, and like getting to that point to have that like paradigm shift is hard to like believe in that? Was there like a psychedelic moment or anything, or was it just like the working and getting to where you wanted to be that got you to that moment?
Yeah, like nowadays we don't really do anything because
you have what you need
in terms of the psychedelic, because we're professional musicians.
Yeah.
Our music is very hard to perform, and we're traveling, so it requires like absolute concentrate. It's like a football game. Like you're like a World Cup. You have to look at after your diet, your fitness, your everything, your mental health, because you're always on the road. So, but I believe that the psychedelic experience is a catalyst, and And that's the beauty about psychedelics. You don't need to take them. It's not like some drugs that you just have to keep taking that stuff.
Yeah.
Once you've seen inside, man, that's forever with you.
Yeah.
You're never the same. Like, I can always tell when somebody is like has never had a psychedelic experience. I cannot really work with people like that. I don't like people taking drugs when working, but definitely people that have had the experience.
Like the catalyst, you said.
Yeah, like the catalyst, and that's the beauty of the psychedelic. And the psychedelic experiences have even like, hey, maybe you should take more care of your body. Maybe you should take more care of your mind. And as I've matured and grown, I could see how the experience, triggered all those thoughts, and then I've materialized those thoughts into actions.
Yeah, and I think too, like the psychedelic experience doesn't have to be through drugs. There's a lot of people that do it through meditation, or like I know people that say like running, like just pushing your body to that limit. Like that psychedelic experience of that catalyst that we're talking about can come from so many different things.
Oh yeah, well in my case it was literally a mushroom back in the day, but yeah. Also, almost dying, I guess. Near-death experiences are also very psychedelic.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. On a lighter note, you mentioned about the World Cup and football, and you're from Colombia.
Yeah.
Are you big into football? No?
I'm the worst Colombian ever. I lost that one, I'm not really partial to extremely sexualized music. The football thing is like these hooligans that after a game they start knifing each other after the game.
It's different in Colombia,
it's like very violent and almost like tribalistic, but in a very sort of
negative,
othering the other person, like you're othering everyone. So I guess I'm not into. I'm like if you ask me about sports, I love climbing and stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
can you tell us some of those experiences? That's something that I've always wanted to get into, like rock climbing, but like, to be quite frank, I'm a little scared of doing it.
Oh yeah, it's scary. That's the whole point, I think, because you're just scared and you're facing that fear. And I think the reason I'm a musician is because I had a climbing accident and I fell 20 feet to the ground while doing a trad climb in Colombia. And while I was in the hospital, I was like, oh man, I could have died or worse. And I was, finding my way between being climbing and a lawyer, and because I'm a lawyer in Colombia and a guitar player or whatever. And then I said, yeah, I'm just gonna do music.
Yeah.
And I guess fearlessness, just being,
So you're not doing the lawyer anymore. It's just all music now.
Ironically, I've used it so much now because the music business is all about contracts.
Yeah.
The reason why artists actually. Musicians are the most privileged of all the artists because like a painter needs to sell his painting and that's it. That's his only source of revenue, and most people just rip off their images from the internet, whereas us, like right now there's 300-500 people streaming our music, so I'm making passive income while I'm doing it, and I'm also getting publishing for it, and I'm also getting a whole source of royalties that are coming not just from Spotify but from others. So as long as you do the numbers right and you read your contracts and you know how you're dealing, this is a very lucrative business in the way that you can get a decent living in music as long as you, read, It's not just playing guitar, it's also doing that. And thankfully, because of the streaming and everything, it's like we're able to do all of this and live, by the way, I'm just going to make that disclaimer. We do get royalties every time you hear us on Spotify. I know Spotify right now is not like, I'm not going to defend that platform ever, but but I just want to take away that we do receive like substantial income from Spotify, like every month. Every month we receive at least 4 figures, once 5 figures every month from royalties. And it's not millions, but it's pretty deep. It's not a cent. No, it's not cents, because I guess some non-musicians or people that are not in the industry think that Spotify just gives you like 50 cents. And it's like, well, yeah, if you have 1,000 streams, yeah, you're going to get 50 cents. But if you have 68 million streams, it's pretty nice.
Real dollars, yeah.
Yeah, so streaming, whether from your favorite platform, is an excellent way to support the artist that you love.
Is there one that you find, like, for example, I use Tidal. Do you find that you get like more royalties from them? Are they treating you better? Is it kind of Spotify is the king when it comes to that, just because of the volume?
At the end of the day, it just comes to subscriber base.
Okay.
And 80% of the world global streaming subscriber base, that's not China, it's Spotify.
Okay.
Because China has like their own spot, their own streaming platform. So I guess because of that is Spotify. But people are going to Kobo's, or I don't know how to pronounce that one, the one that starts with a Q.
Okay.
Kobo's, or Apple Music and stuff, and I mean, just the streaming, or the good old fashioned Bandcamp.
Yeah.
If you don't, you can always do with Band. We've also received money from Bandcamp, so I mean that's great. But in general, the streaming platforms are great because I know many musicians that are a little older than me from Colombia, and they were right in between the era of the CD and the streaming. That was the worst because that was the era where everybody was downloading everything from Casa,
LimeWire,
Addis, LimeWire, all that stuff, and it was horrible. So streaming allowed a way to get musicians paid,
Yeah.
But you do have to do like some things other than Spotify. Get into Sound Exchange, get your other royalties, get a publisher, because there's out of one stream there's like so many. You can make a class out of this thing.
Yeah.
Like you could do a podcast on how do you get more out of your royalties, But so and then that's like it came full circle. It was like thank God I'm a lawyer.
Yeah.
Because contracts are my day to day.
So you're handling that yourself internally.
Yes.
Okay, you're not hiring any for that. You're doing
No,
that.
it's fully managed. Even though, I mean, we have a manager, we have an agent, we have a publicist, but at the end of the day, it's your company. And I firmly believe that if you're not looking where the money's coming, then
Yeah.
you're screwed. Basically.
You're screwing yourself.
And that's
yeah.
the typical classic rock and roll story about we're millionaires, but our manager stole all of our money
Yep.
because we didn't read the contract, and he just said sign this, and we just signed it because we're musicians, we don't read, and so it's like.
And you have to do more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to take responsibility for your destiny, and it's a business at the end of the day.
Yeah. Okay. So Suwannee, we're here. What do you think? Is this your first time here?
It is.
What do you think of this place?
Man, it's Florida's response to lightning in a bottle.
Okay. What do you mean by that?
Well, I don't know if you know it. It's in Bakersfield, California.
Okay.
And it feels like this little Mad Max hippie psychedelic kind of
Okay.
vibe, and it's dusty right now, and it really feels everybody's doing their thing, and it's just freedom, and people are allowed here to be free and express themselves, and here you don't have to get into a paranoid trip if you're like having an experience, and you
Yeah.
don't have to think about, oh my God, I'm gonna get
Someone's gonna catch me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not even the experience, but like the world is very aggressive and makes you like paranoid. So these are safe spaces for people to express themselves, especially in an increasingly judgy world. To put it that way,
Yeah.
So I'm so glad that there's places where people can still express themselves, and that is the true meaning of democracy and of the free world. That unlike many countries out there in the world, men and women can be naked, half naked,
Yeah.
dress like a bear, do whatever,
Yeah.
pray to the stars, and nobody's gonna say anything. And I think people here take that for granted because there's other areas in the world where if you're not a Muslim or something, if you don't cover you can get stoned to death,
Yeah.
like for anything. It's ridiculous. So, well, in my Western perspective,
Yeah.
but
That's true. It's 100% true because I don't think about that stuff. I've lived here my whole life and I don't think about that kind of thing.
oh yeah, yeah.
So it's nice to have someone with that perspective. You're in Miami tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so are you hanging around the festival at all today?
I'm gonna try. We have a very special stage today. We've never really we kind of had that at ACL because ACL was, check this out. It was Glass Beams, us, Krungman, and Hermanos Gutierrez. So,
Okay.
like, there's no name yet for like this genre, but there is a genre. Come on, there is a big genre. I can name like 24 bands that are doing this sort of funky, chill, psychedelic, reverb heavy, mostly instrumental kind of vibe music that you put in your favorite hipster coffee shop kind of thing,
Yeah.
And I'm so happy that once again, like Hulaween, who are the curators or something, they were like, we're gonna put everything there in that stage and our stage. So it's like BALTHVS, Arc de Soleil, Glass Beams. So
What's the word for you? What's that word, the genre word called for you?
I don't know, man. It's I hope somebody queer like that Street Smarts that names it.
Yeah,
Because,
yeah.
I'm the artist. I just make the music. Hopefully, it puts the name to it. I don't want to baptize it.
Yeah, this is called like the Jam Band podcast, and it's such a broad word, Jam Band, because like
Yeah.
the Grateful Dead fits in that, but then you guys fit in
Yeah.
that, and then like
Yeah, like the lame algorithmic name would be Global Groove.
okay,
And that's like something really nice. Like Daniel from Arc de Soleil, he's from Sweden. We're from Colombia. Frogman is from Texas. Hermanos Gutierrez is from Switzerland. Glassbeams is from India/Australia. So the one very particular thing about this genre is that it's not geographically localized in a place, but rather it's the global sound. Because we're the global village, because we're in the internet now, and now just like you and I are hanging, I can just talk with my friend in Japan, and it's like, hey man, what's up? And we can connect, and I think everybody is sort of connecting globally with certain types of rhythms and sounds. So I think that's the very interesting thing about that genre, if you want to call it like.
Yeah. Now, outside of that genre, I know we talked about some of your other influences. Is there somebody right now, like in this music world, that's kind of catching your eye, that you really like what they're doing, whether it's something you want to replicate, but just something that you're really enjoying?
Well, I gotta prop up my buddies from my morning jacket. I know they've been there for a while touring, but there's a lot of people that don't know them. They don't know them in Colombia. So hopefully people that live in other countries, they get to listen to their beautiful music, because I've never seen, well, I have, but just like those levels of magic that they capture in their audience. They're one of the best American live bands out there, you know. So and there's like millions of bands out there, but yeah, I got to witness 17 my morning jacket shows, and I was like, yeah, it's worth it. If you haven't, go jump in the buzz, you know. It's good stuff, I would say.
I have a buddy named Cooper. Shouts out Cooper. He probably listened to this because he was probably at a lot of those My Morning Jacket shows. He lives in Asheville with me, and he follows them around all the time. I think he saw him like 8 or 9 times in April, and he's like, you got to get to a My Morning Jacket show. And I'm like, yeah, man, they're good. I just haven't really listened to them, so I need to get to a show and check them out. I believe you.
Yeah, there's moments. Just like the Dead, there's moments of magic.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you just have to be more patient, because like it's like the Dead. Sometimes you have to wait like a couple songs, then you get Tennessee Jet, and you gotta wait for a little bit, and then you know.
And then you
I'm
get that
sorry for all
15
the Tennessee Jet lovers. You know, it's okay. You know.
And then you get that 15-minute playing the band, or you get that 30-minute Dark Star, and you're like, that's it.
Not just the set twos. Obviously, the set 2 songs are great, but obviously as well, Bertha or Jack Straw, or you know, there's so many of the set 1 songs too that you just I want to listen to that. You know.
What's your favorite era of the Dead?
78.
78.
78.
Okay. Why that one?
It's the last Donna year, and Jerry's he had this amazing run of shows in 77, but they're getting a little rougher and darker in 78. And my favorite shakedown is from Passaic Theater, New Jersey, 1978. It's the last show before he cancels the year because he has extreme laryngitis. And what he lacks in the vocal, he compensates in the jam. And then they do estimated shakedown Fire in the Mountain. So, and it's an amazing siege of music. And then he brings in Hamsaldim, which is an Egyptian musician that he met in Egypt when they were playing in Egypt in 78. And then there's this whole troupe of Egyptian percussionists just playing with Mickey and with Billy, and like it's just magical, man.
I'm gonna have to check that one out.
That would be like my desert island show, I guess.
You're a big Donna fan? You like Donna?
I wish they gave her monitors.
Okay, what do you mean by that?
Because Donna sang for Elvis, so she was a good singer.
Yeah.
I just think that in the mix, you know, for musicians that are up there, like what you listen to is completely different from what the musician listens to. And I think they didn't give her enough of her own voice. I think that when you don't listen to yourself, it's very easy to sing out of tune and stuff.
Okay.
But no, I love the feminine energy. I mean, I couldn't be in a band with just guys. It becomes too like fratty after a while. And I always loved that in our band, there's always been the feminine energy and the ever-changing cycles of the feminine, and I embrace it. So obviously, it's kind of Donna has to be there for me.
Nice, man. Well, I think that's all the questions that I have. Man, is there anything that you want to plug or get out there before we wrap this interview up?
No, just listen to the music. If you're in Europe, I don't know, go check out the shows, and we really hope to be bringing you more music next year. That's our plan, basically.
Yeah, man, I'll definitely keep an eye out for you guys, and can't wait to see you guys again. It was a pleasure to meet you, and I hope you get to have a fun day here at Suwannee today.
Yeah, and a little sleep too.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
You just got jammed.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back from that interview with Balthazar and Travis Book.
Balthazar.
I just think of that song. How bizarre. Fun interview. Travis, Hopefully we can get Travis on again. I think.
I feel like that's a conversation you guys could have continued real easily.
Yeah, I think that would be a good one to do. Do again. Maybe we'll get over to Brevard. Go to 185 King Street. I think he has some kind of. Cause he did his podcast. And I think he has like kind of a studio set up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so maybe that would be a fun one to get over there. I think we talked about it just at the beginning of this, but me seeing them on New Year's back in the day, I think they play here on New Year's with the Avett Brothers,
You are right. Yeah.
and I think that could be a cool show.
Yeah, we were looking for New Year's plans, so that's now
Yeah.
that Billy's not doing New Orleans, it'll be nice to do something local though.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to work New Year's Day.
I work. Oh, really? I work New Year's Eve,
I think I work New Year's Eve
but
too.
like I'll be home by 8.
Yeah, which that works because nothing starts, and I just won't
Exactly.
drink.
That's the only one I am working Christmas Eve this year, and I'm a bit disappointed by that. My hospital doesn't pay extra for either of those holidays.
Really?
Every other hospital I've worked at, those are major holidays, and this one it's not, which is annoying because those are the two I signed up for.
Yeah, that's all right though. I mean, we'll still get because I'm off Christmas Eve day and the day after, so we'll have a couple days.
Yeah, and we got that. Little Wind will be up in Virginia.
Okay, should we start? So we go right into our new segment, Songs of the Week.
Songs of the Week, yeah. You want to hit your? I know you got two. So
Yeah, I have
we'll
two.
alternate.
The first one is 116 Days by Dogs in a Pile.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is from like a live show in Raleigh, I believe,
Yeah.
is what it is. But I'll put it onto the Spotify playlist. Just a super fun song, you know.
It's kind of like jazzy sounding in a way.
Yeah,
The way
and, like,
that Jimmy sings.
Yeah, and if you know the podcast, you know I like my guy Jimmy Law.
He's pro Jimmy Law, absolutely.
But yeah, I just like it. A lot of their songs can be like longer,
Yeah.
like longer, a lot of jamming. And this one has like a perfect amount of jam for me, but a perfect amount of singing, and I think it's a nice song too.
Yeah, I do think this one's like a bit more lyrical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I really like that song. Was listening to them one of their shows the other day. And like I said, I don't know if it's a new song. Maybe it's a song a lot of people like in the Dogs world, but it wasn't one I was too familiar with.
Yeah.
So check it out, 116 Days. In the description of this podcast, there'll be a link to the Spotify playlist.
Nice.
And before we get all up in arms about Spotify, I mean,
We tried to make the switch.
I tried to switch the title, but the Spotify interface is good.
Yeah,
easy to
like-
use. And talking to Balthazar, they were like, they pay their musicians.
Yeah.
You just got to get more streams, I guess.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Yeah, that he did say that. He was like, I mean, the money's there.
yeah, and like everyone uses Spotify. Like,
Yeah.
it's,
Guys, we did try. But
yeah, A for effort.
you can't, a lot of the times, you can't beat the big man, you know?
Yeah, I
You
mean,
can't get mad at the little guys for not being able to beat the big guys. My song, though, Bella White released this. This is going out. It was released last week, Little Things. Bella White's just one of my favorite musicians, I think, at the moment. I think she has such an incredible voice. I don't think this song has a very different tone from, like, all the rest of her music that I've listened to, but I just don't get tired of it.
yeah.
It's very nice. I think she has a very sweet, like, way she carries her tone.
I haven't listened other than that. Like, was it Bells of Every Chapel? Is that her? With Sierra Farrell?
I think that's Sierra Farrell and Billy Strings.
What's the one?
Bella White is...
There's one that I know by her.
Yeah, you do. And now that we're talking about it, I won't be able to think of any of
I
them.
think I got this big old computer. in
I
front
got
of me.
this big old thing right here. We'll get there.
Bella White, Bella White.
She played in Asheville recently, and I remember I was sitting on the couch. I was home alone, and I was like scrolling through Instagram.
Just Like Leaving, is that it?
You do know that one. Baby, I'm just like hurting.
Yeah.
When I'm putting the money in, I don't know what it's all running from.
Yeah. She
But
does have a nice voice.
She does have a nice voice. But she played in Asheville not too long ago, and I was sitting on the couch, and it was like 7:30 maybe, and she had made a post a couple hours before that was like playing at Asheville at 7. I was like, fuck, like I had already missed her set.
Does she not have a song with Sierra Farrell?
No.
Or am I just making that up?
I do believe you think that she is Sierra Farrell. I think that you get them mixed up a lot.
That Mexican food put me on my ass. I got the
Mexican
yawnies
food
now.
and the mushrooms. There's another one, Not to Blame, that I
Maybe that's
feel
the
you
one.
would know, and I can't think of the words of now.
Mushroom. You just threw out we did the midday mushrooms today.
Snow day, guys. First snow day of the
day, yeah.
year. You gotta get a little
Just a
mushies
little
in.
guy.
Yeah, it
That's
was a
nice.
fucking heavy snow too. It came down.
Yeah, did it stop
stopped
finally?
now. I hate driving in weather, in any form of
I
weather.
don't like driving in the dark, and now that it gets dark so early, it's just like
Ugh, yeah.
I don't really want to leave the house.
Sun starts setting at like 4:30.
Yeah, it's crazy. You pee, man. I don't think I've like ever yawned on the podcast. I think I have 3 times.
Oh wow, tired boy.
Sweepy boy, sweepy boy. Okay,
Oh.
I have another song too, though.
Yes, this is a conjoined song. This is one we're celebrating together.
You guys know the band, the people, the folks. Sons of Stars
Mm-hmm.
finally has a song that's streaming. Carolina Bound. I believe it's the mandolin player's Johnny.
Johnny, yeah.
Dad wrote the song back in the day, right?
Yeah, I
Okay.
believe that's one of those ones. Gonna set my feet
On
on
the
the
ground,
ground, Carolina bound.
So banger, go check it out.
Every time they play that, I do love Sons of Stars.
I know.
I love their shows. They're always good energy. That song does get me excited. I love when they play originals. I love when they play Johnny's dad songs.
Yeah, they're the best.
They have such I'll always sing
If
their
you haven't
praises.
followed them on Spotify yet either, or Instagram, whatever, go show those guys some love. They are not only great dudes, but like just great musicians.
So talented
So
all around.
fun, just cool guys.
Yeah, they are.
And then so I had this thought the other day. Trampled by Turtles,
Yeah.
probably one of the
A big name band
Yeah,
for
like,
this
one of-
genre of music.
Now I believe that they are a okay, they're from Minnesota, so I'm wrong.
Minnesota.
But I don't know any of the people in their band.
Yeah.
I don't hear about them in circles. Eric Berry, that is the mandolin player. Now that I'm looking, I may have heard that name, but I don't see them
I feel like they don't carry weight.
Not even that, but I feel like all these you hear Yonder Mountain, people say Jeff Austin. You hear String Cheese, you hear Bill Nursery, and
Yeah,
then
leftover salmon. You got
Vince.
Vince.
Yeah, so all these guys that have been doing it for a while, and they've been doing it since 2003. I don't hear about them.
Yeah,
and
that is-
maybe I'm just not
Tapped into that.
tapped in. No, they were number 1 on the U.S. Billboard Bluegrass chart. Stayed in the charts top 10 for 52 weeks. That album Palomino, that Wait So Long, is on it.
Mm.
And they've been releasing good songs for a while. They've been doing it for a while, and I just don't see them places.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm kind of just want to know why.
Yeah. Is it maybe their touring isn't as extensive? If they are an older group, maybe they just don't tour the same way some of these other
are they
groups
trying
do?
to lean more on the folk side of things? Are they trying to stay independent of the jamgrass thing?
Yeah, I don't think I feel like they don't not that they don't fit. I don't think they identify with the jamgrass.
Yeah, maybe.
I feel like they probably do hold a more traditional style.
Yeah, and that could be it. Because I guess, a lot of these, jamgrass guys still kind of, the Grateful Dead sphere.
Mm-hmm.
You heard it in the Travis Book interview.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just was thinking about it. I was listening to them the other day because I really like them. I think they have some
Yeah.
really good songs. And they're still, they have another album coming out. Or they had an album come out this year. 2025. Just released a new single in 2025.
Mm-hmm.
So
Is
it's
the single from the album or from a separate
I'm not sure.
project?
But then they play and then they play it Telluride Bluegrass Fest, Floyd Fest. All good. So maybe they're playing.
Maybe they're just a fest band at the moment.
Yeah. So I guess my reason for bringing this up is does anyone know?
Yeah,
Like
do
this
any
is-
of you have an answer? Where is Trampled by Turtles?
Yeah.
Where do they fit?
Because I think they're great, and probably before I got too into bluegrass, I guess that was one of the first. Maybe that's, I don't know.
I agree with that though, because I feel like Trampled by Turtles was probably my first introduction to bluegrass before I really like knew of bluegrass
that
music.
song "Wait So Long" is like a very well known.
And that
song.
Codeine, I really liked
Yeah.
that Codeine song.
Yeah, I feel like I was listening with Chris, my buddy Chris, when we were like kids. We were listening to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe they're just more on the folk side. And I don't know why I thought this would be a good place to talk about it, but maybe
People will know.
Yeah,
People will
if
know.
you know, shoot me a
They're
message
out
on
there.
Instagram.
I mean, I feel like they are a widely liked band.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like hear no one talks shit about them that I've
yeah,
seen.
no,
But also,
they
no
just
one
don't
really
run in the
talks
same
about
circles.
them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the thing. Because I
Yeah.
think they're better than like some of the other bands. Like, I'm not gonna.
I was gonna say we
Yeah.
don't have a name.
But like, I do like the. Except I guess we saw them that one time though, and like we were not blown away, but we were also like we didn't really.
We
were
had, I
sick.
feel like we had like traveled that day or we had traveled that week
Yeah.
and we were both sick. We both had colds.
I came
We
straight
didn't.
from like soccer practice.
We
last
went
Thursday.
there not really wanting to go.
Yeah.
But we were like, we have the tickets. We haven't seen them. We would like to.
Yeah.
And they packed that show out.
Yeah,
I
that
mean
was and that's not like a bluegrass town either.
No, yeah, we
Tampa.
saw them in Tampa in fucking Ybor.
On like a Tuesday.
Yeah, and they packed that place out, and they didn't play a lot of songs that we were able to sing along to, but a lot of people were.
Yeah.
So again, maybe that's an us thing.
So if you know Trampled by Turtles, Lord, hit us up. We're
Yeah,
curious.
would like to know.
Maybe you can even hop in on a little Chloe's Corner one day.
Ooh, come on in, guys. The water's fine.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe Jason knows. Jason knows everything, and then he could get back in on Chloe's Corner.
Yeah, there you go.
Jason, this is a call out to you. Do you know anything about Trampled by Turtles?
He'll probably listen to this one because he likes Mr. Book.
Oh, you're so right. Yeah. Yeah.
Love you, Jason. if you're
Love you,
listening.
Jason. Can't wait to see you again. Thanks for the chairs.
Yeah. they
Giving
came
us our
in
chairs
handy.
back. I appreciate you bringing those back over.
I like how we're having a conversation with someone who's not here and may or not.
It may not listen, yeah. But if he does, you know he'll smile.
Yeah, he will. And if you're listening, we hope you're smiling because you made it this far.
Yeah.
But I think that's probably it for us today, huh?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
It was cool.
Monday we have another cool podcast. We met these two guys at the Huntsville Night 3, and they had never
For Billy Strings.
they'd never heard Billy Strings. They like had heard the name a couple times, but stumbled their way into some tickets somebody gave them, and we just hear about their whole experience. And then there will be another interview with that too, maybe, probably.
Yeah.
But the one Monday we'll have Phil and Bo, who are just awesome dudes, and
Super sweet guys. Yeah. I mean, yeah, we were sat next to them at Billy. You'll hear the whole story, but just two very kind, like excited to
Yeah.
be there people.
and they're in now. They're in.
Yeah, and I'm very glad we were able to cross paths with them. I'm glad that we were the ones lucky enough to sit next to them.
Yeah. Well, guys, we are going back to Virginia this weekend for a wedding, but that doesn't mean you're not getting an episode Monday. Come on now. So we'll see you guys all on Monday. Have a great weekend. And remember, wherever you are right now is exactly where you're supposed to be.
Well, all jammed up, hey, that's where it's going down. Best damn pot in this old Asheville town. More than enough old stories to go around. And I'm all jammed up right now. Yes, I'm all jammed up right now.